Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for having me. So, the topic today, 7 ways she says, no thank you, I don't want a promotion. Now, let me throw some numbers at you first. And I had to write because I need to make sure when I quote, I want to be on the word. June 2007, 2017. Okay, we are at what, May 18? 17. Washington Post and Fortune wrote an article. The number of women CEOs in the Fortune 500 is at an all-time high record. That sounds great, doesn't it? And that was the Washington Post. Fortune. The 2017 Fortune 500 individuals, a record number of women CEOs. And here again, I'm sitting, okay, 32, 6.8%. 6.8% of the CEO positions are women. Now, Fortune has had this history recording for the past 68 years. This is the all-time high because the second all-time high was 3.8%, and that was in 2014. So when I hear all-time high, all-time record, and then I hear the number 6.8, sales taxes are higher than that. Let's be honest. So we already know that there's so many factors against us that we are fighting every day, whether it comes to life, business, you name it. We already know that sometimes our male counterparts don't really like for us to keep up moving. Although, and I'm quoting again, the woman CEO, the median woman CEO makes a whooping, throw some numbers out,
80,000.
13.1 million a year, which is 1.7 million more than the median male CEO. So what does it tell us? Once we get there, we know what we're doing. We always know that we know what we're doing. Okay? We always know that. But it's a question of how do we get there? So sometimes, women, we like to say, no thank you, I don't want a promotion. So today there's so many things, but today we're going to go through 7. So now, and I thank everybody who did not peek. Now you can turn, please, so that we can go through it together. First one, business professional, business casual, and grown and sexy theme. Okay? Sometimes there's a place and time for everything. So when you go to an office every day, the question is, what position are you going for? Where are you today? Are you in the club? Are you planning on going to the club? Or are you planning on working on your next position on those 13.1 million that each one of us is capable of doing? So that is the question. But sometimes when we get dressed in the mornings, we like those shoes. So do I. We like the short dresses. So do I. I have shorter than this, but I wear short dresses. But what does it tell you? And I've seen, there are certain things that I do on purpose because sometimes when I feel the way you're judging me, I'm okay with that. Because guess what? You feeling it inside of you the way you are judging me. So, do I really wear this? No, I don't.
She got
For a business meeting?
Hold up.
I knew there was a man in those here.
At least you saw. I just used to start telling.
And that's another thing. Yes, I do. I'm 6 foot tall. You know? So, think about how you looked at me when you knew what you're going to come to today. You came to somebody who's supposed to teach you how to dress. Walk in it, I mean, you know, I like my dresses now. There's a time and place. Catch me at 2 o'clock in the morning at some club. We'll talk. Or 3 or 4 or 5. But that is my personal life. And I always make sure that wherever I go, it still is. So even when I wear short dresses and there's wind in the day, those volleyball shorts, I used to play volleyball, those volleyball shorts that I had when I was in college, guess what? I still put them under there because the wind, you can't control the wind. And I'm not trying to sit here like this all day, you know. So keep that in mind. Think about it, how it affected you and the way you looked at me. Because women, you see, here's the thing, men get promoted based on future potential. That's all he needs. Oh, he got that. He's gonna grow into those shoes. He got this. Women have to walk, talk, act, already do the job for the past 5 years to potentially, maybe on a sunny, rainy, shiny day, be under the lot of circumstances considered to get a promotion. So that saying, the whole saying about, you know, don't dress for the job that you have, dress for what you want, is true. It is very, very true. So our appearance, just the way we stand there, the way we are dressing ourselves, makes such a difference. You know, and a lot of times women, we like to wear our nice dresses, which is great. However, sometimes be mindful also of the colors that you use. Because we do not estimate, or let's say this way, we underestimate the power of colors. So there's not going to be a fashion show, okay? I'm trying to make a statement. I'm trying to. And one thing I want you to do is pay attention to how each color makes you feel. Now, earth colors, brown colors, grounding. They're very grounding. They give that supporting feeling, that trusting, that nurturing. So if you have somebody that is very difficult to work with, put some brown earth colors into their face. Bring it down a little bit. And see how that not only makes you feel, but how your perception, and remember, all I've done is I let some bobby pins out, I changed some shoes, and I put on a jacket. That's really it. But it changes. And the thing is, if I would have came here from the get-go, I would not have had to work so brutally hard to now get your attention, because I have credentials. Feel free, go on the website. They're all out there. I have credentials. Clearly also I have credentials, otherwise I wouldn't be here. But I had to convince you very, very hard to get your attention. So, colors. Be very mindful of the colors that you are wearing and why you're wearing those colors. And the next time you have a meeting with somebody, what is the purpose and what is the agenda of that meeting? Utilize it. Utilize it all to your advantage. And even that grown and sexy, yes, we do want to have it sometimes, but there is a line to it, because believe it or not, the more sexy and grown the women are coming dressed to work, the less they are perceived to be competent. The very less they are perceived to be competent. So yes, everything is almost like a losing battle. You know, the day you were born with ovaries, for the lack of a better word, or estrogen, it is to a certain degree, because sometimes, you know, we are too strong, we are considered right, you know, we are considered this, it doesn't matter, the man is a leader, the woman is a, the man is this, the woman is, so one way or another, you have so many battles against you, so might as well make it easy for yourself. So, next time you deal with somebody difficult, bring some brownish into their face. What I'm going to do, and I want you to pay attention to how it makes you change, or if it really is a change the way you perceive me when I'm changing colors. But we are going to keep going because we don't have much time, and we have a lot to cover today. So, that is the next point. That is the first point, your appearance, the way you are dressed, the colors that you're using, the length of the skirt, the heels not too high. Make sure that you know the difference between business professional, business casual, and the grown sexy thing. And there is a line. There's a strict line. The only thing that is missing, in my case, to be considered business professional, actually two. Can somebody tell me what those two things are?
Pearl. The jewelry?
No, jewelry is fine. It's two things. Anybody?
Do you have on holes?
I do.
Say that again? Okay. She said that.
Two things that I'm missing to be considered business professional.
Your nail polish.
That's one. What about it?
It's too bright.
It's too bright.
It's purple. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that is one.
Your hairstyle, the ponytail in the back.
It's not really a ponytail, but that is just I would consider too.
Makeup?
Nope.
Lipstick.
Nope. Because I have lipstick too.
A long sleeve jacket.
Nope.
Business professionals?
What is missing for me to be considered business professional?
A long skirt. A long skirt.
That one's okay, I missed it. You're right. Because theoretically it needs to be to the knees, okay? But the other thing that is missing is the matching jacket.
Oh, matching jacket.
Okay.
That is the matching jacket. So for my nails, for example, I would do earth colors, neutral, no nail polish, just make sure they're clean. That is that. It should go to the knees and the matching jacket because that is really a huge difference. And once you know, you know. You can never unknow. So next time somebody says, come in a business professional, dress up from top to bottom because here's the thing. Every time we are missing something, they know that we don't know. But you're not going to catch me not knowing because that is me. You try me, go ahead. Because I will come to that level. Because yes, I am ready here to do business. Yes, I am ready here to take the promotion. And yes, I am ready to make $13.1 million. I don't know about you, but I think that's a beautiful number. So, for that position, you also need to bring something to the table. The next, the Southern Glove. Our handshake is the first physical touch between people. I'm making my point here. Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question going
Sure.
back to dress code. Now, if you're in a business attire, you know, you're going to a meeting, or if you're going in for an interview, would you say that, you know, jewelry, what you accessorize your clothing with makes a difference? Because sometimes people in a business meeting will perseverate over what you have on, like you have on big earrings or jewelry, that tends to make a person stare more at what you have on, jewelry, versus listening to what you know have to present.
Absolutely, you're 100% right. Absolutely. This is just a simple golden rule for all of it. If it brings too much attention, don't wear it. It's that simple. Earrings, penny size. I mean, I have an entire workshop.
I wasn't saying that for you. No, I was saying that because I know in meetings, sometimes I've had people I've been around in not this kind of setting, but in meetings where you tend to stare at what people have on sometimes because it can be very bold. And I had this a couple weeks ago happen, and you kind of tend to, you know, look at that, or the shoes if they're really bright, you know, red, yellow, you know, too high, your dress. I mean, it's a lot of things that go into, you know, presenting yourself in a professional way.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes. I said I have an entire workshop just about dress code and about colors, what colors to use and which situation, what not. So yes, 100%. And when it comes down to the size, again, if it brings too much attention, don't wear it. That is really the most simplest. And keep your earrings at penny size. Everything is simple. It's supposed to support. It's not supposed to be the topic of the day. You know? So, yes. So then now, once we see each other, we evaluate ourselves or the counterparts, because more than 50% of your first impression is really the way you just stand there. You don't even say a word yet, you're just there. And your dress code. Now the next interaction is your handshake. The reason I call it the Southern Glove is because back in the days, women were taught to never touch palms with a man, or in general, so it was always this, you know, light. And that was like this, and here's the thing, in the social settings, yes, still do that, it's acceptable. But when it comes down to business, your first interaction of touching somebody's hand, the way you shake hands really sets precedence of what is about to come. Because when you don't shake somebody's hand and you really shake, I'm here, my name is Gisela Klus, but you do this whole little thing, you already put yourself in the back burner, in the side corner, on the sideline, whatever word you would like to use. So it is very imperative as women to shake hands. There's no such thing as the woman's handshake anymore. Business, we're talking business now, okay? And the man's handshake. And in particular, here's the thing. Sometimes with different generations, that is what we are teaching our children because back in the days, that's how it was. But nowadays, even in business settings, the man doesn't hold the door anymore for you. Whoever gets to the door first, the door. Okay? Yes, if somebody does want to do it and he wants to be a gentleman, don't say thank you. If you really don't want to, say thank you very much, but that's not necessary. Hope you got the hint. You know, but a handshake is very important. So that's why I made sure to shake as many people's hands here to see, because now I know who I'm dealing with. I already know who I'm dealing with. Are you more, not the word submissive, but for lack of a better term in my brain right now, are you more passive? Are you more aggressive? Are you just neutral? All that can be told by a handshake. Can I roll over you if I want to? All that is going to be told just by your handshake. Are you more an introvert? Even that I can tell just by your handshake. Are you an extrovert? Your handshake says so much. And even, for example, some people, I don't know if y'all notice, but they turn their hands to the side. They almost put themselves under you. Okay? Or the opposite. Sometimes men want to do that. They turn you this way. Like they want to dominate you. Unfortunately, I'm volleyball player, so I used to lift a lot of weights back in the days. So I just gently look at them, smile, and just straighten them out. Because, like literally, that's, you know, in a very kind of manner, I'm going to straighten you up. In this case, literal, physical, figuratively speaking. Because I don't want you to get the slightest impression that you're about to dominate me, run over me, try to turn me around, because whatever you just had as your agenda, I know that you just made the side turn. Just because of my handshake. So it is very important. But then make sure to don't over squeeze. Because then we are getting the aggressive one. So find a good one, ask people. I'll be more than happy on the way out, we'll shake hands. I tell you my opinion, I mean it's not like I got it with a golden spoon, but the way I was taught, I pass it on. Be more than happy. But be mindful of your handshake. The same thing with that glove, you know, or the pastor handshake when you shake hands and then the other hand comes on top of it. No, we're not doing that. We're not in church. I'm not trying to mother you. You're not my child. This is business. This is strictly business. Okay? After we saw each other, we shook hands, now presents. A lot of times I want to say presents what? Because a lot of times when you hear that word presents, particularly when it comes to women, it sometimes even has a negative taste again, you know, because when you see a man just standing there, he just looks like a leader. He looks like a man's man, like an alpha man. But when a woman just stands there, and it's like, yeah, I bet you she's rude, I bet you she's arrogant, I bet you she this, I bet you she that. You know, we get that just by standing tall and standing straight, and having the audacity at times, or the nerves, to just stand there. Not move. I'm talking to you. And all you do is stand there. Why is she so confident? She's arrogant. But having presence of just being here and allowing yourself to stand without doing this, or one foot the other, or holding your hands. Watch each other next time, or watch yourself when you go into a setting where nobody knows somebody. Just sit there and watch people. You'll see a lot of these, closing your hands in front of your body, because you're hugging and supporting yourself, or because you're unsure and unconfident, you know, or even this, or even better, like the little girls back in the days, you know, with your hands behind your back, one of those. But to really stand there and just be full of the present and just standing there, I don't say be ready to attack, but just stand there and have a conversation without fidgeting a lot, without your elbows touching yourself, your body, as a comfort. It is practice. I have to practice that myself because it is very hard. And a lot of times we have a volcano inside of us. The butterflies go all over. Yes, I've been presenting for years, but at the same time, I have no idea what's going on inside of me. But you don't have to know that. Because at the end of the day, it's none of your business. That's with me, myself, and I. And my mother told me, she said, everybody has butterflies. The secret is to have them all fly in the same direction. And the more you practice it, to really control your butterflies, the more centered you are going to feel, and you're going to command presence. Because here's the thing, people think they should give me, or when you're trying to say something, and you're holding yourself, you're trying to say something, and you think people would be kind to say, what did you just say? Let her finish, You think people would do that? But reality is, most people just don't. So you have to take your presence, you have to own it yourself, because nobody's going to give it to you. And the more you just stand straight and there, the more you're going to get it yourself. And you have to remember to demand and ask for it. Still in a kind and respectful way. So not cutting off everybody. Be like, y'all know those people that take over conversations? Like completely over. And it's like, okay. But really in a kind and supportive way, but demanding your own space and your own presence. So let me give you another hint.
Can you do that stand again?
Yeah.
There's really nothing to it. I just stand there. Like that's really it. I just stand there.
Okay.
My feet are comfortable, hip wide, so there's not even a centimeter inch.
Yeah.
You just stand there. One step, and you stand. And now we're having a conversation. If I would like to, use my hands a little bit, give myself a little space, because your hands make space, and I'm like, sorry, but you're close. You're a little bit too close over here. Make sure your elbows don't touch. And just take your presence and command it. I'm here. My name is Gisela Klus. And your presence will also be set, your tone, when you introduce yourself. My name is Gisela Klus. I know I say it too fast, people are like, huh? And they're like, oh yeah, slow down. But a lot of times people introduce themselves as Gisela. You're not 13 years old. You're not 15 years old. You're a grown woman who has a first and a last name. My name is Gisela Klus. And listen to that too, how many times you meet people that say, hi, Gisela. This is not a social setting. This is business. I'll pick up the phone. So if you don't want to tell your first name, I say, this is Gisela Klus. I give you my full name. And if you know manners, you will not address me as Gisela, because I've not given you permission to do so. Even in emails, I leave my signature. I just want to see who I'm working with. I just want to see who I'm dealing with. And all of a sudden I get an email, hello Gisela.
Me too.
My mom used to say in Germany, if you ever go to Germany, don't ever address somebody by the first name. You will lose every cookie, brownie point Walmart has to offer, I promise you. And she tells me, the company's merged, so it's bicontinental as well. She said, every time I get an email with, Dear Helga, I turn around and think, did we play in the kindergarten together? Do I know you? So I do the same thing. That might be the German in me. And because sometimes, you get a lot from more experienced, seasoned people. And then I'm sitting here thinking, hold up, just because you're the age of my father or the age of my mother does not give you the right to child me. I'm not your child. I'm here to do business as well. So with that being said, so when they say, hey Gisela, or whatever they say, I say, good morning, good afternoon, and that's it, and I leave my signature. Now if you get my hint, the next email should come, Miss Klus. Because here's the thing, you cannot take that. You cannot take the personal from somebody or just make it personal. You can offer. So if you say, dear Miss Klus, James, now it's my choice. Give me the right, give me the choice, give me the opportunity to, do I want to go second base with you or not? Do I want that or not? And then I might say, dear James. But if I don't say dear Gisela or Gisela, your name is, to you, I'm Miss Klus. No matter how old you are, and I don't care if you are the president of the world. And I think a lot of times we women would just allow people. We allow them, oh, you called me Gisela. Oh, it's fine. No, it's not fine. I have not given you permission to do so. So to you, my name is Miss Klus. Keep that in mind. Demand your presence.
Thank you, Ms. Clues.
Welcome.
Miss Liz, I have
Please feel free to call me Gisela.
I wanted to ask you, does that depend on the region you live in, or whether you live in the northern part of this country, southern, or because there are people like in the South sometimes, and I see this in emails a lot, and I also have been around enough people that sometimes they just automatically feel that southern, and my husband say this a lot too, because when we go to meetings, he says people somehow feel like they can just call you by your first name, and it's a business meeting, but people will say, "Hi, Doris," and they don't really know me, and it doesn't bother me because it's kind of southern hospitality where people just kind of make it a little bit more light hearted, where you don't feel like, oh, I don't know, when I get ready to present, or if I'm in this meeting, I'm interviewing, people sometimes will do that, and I'm asking you, how does that, if you have that, where someone calls you by your first name, or if you call them by their first name, is that considered to be an insult?
Rules are rules, no matter where you go. Now, there's always a gray zone, depending on where you go. I would never call you by your first name, because I know better. And I know exactly what you're talking about, because in particular here down in the South, everybody wants to be buddy-buddies. Everybody wants to be on a first name basis. And if you're just because I'm Tom and me is whatever, we are all of a sudden best friends, buddies, I got the contract. I know what you're talking about. But unfortunately, it does not work that way. So if somebody addresses me that way, it depends on who I'm working with. If I've done it in emails, the stories I'll tell you, I really do that with people to get them a point, because, and in particular with men, I do that a lot. With men that I don't care for, because they feel that because your title is director of something, and you are in your late 50s, 60s, and I'm in my 30s, well, I've been self-employed for the past 9 years. Okay? Yes, you're the director of something. Yes, I might not make your salary yet, but it does not give you the right. So can I be more aggressive? When he says, Gisela, can I be more aggressive and say, Mr. Smith? Yeah, I can be more aggressive to give it and sign with Clues, Miss Clues? Yes, I can do that. But I don't want to do that. My mother, for example, she has done that with people. Because she feels no, but it's also a different setting. So sometimes it's a question, what is the give and what is the take? Just because you call me Gisela does not mean you will never get a call yours if I don't really care for you. But you should never approach somebody in the personal way if you were not invited. So I would never call you Doris with an email or in person unless I am invited. And if you call me Gisela, I'm not going to jump down your throat and say to you, Miss Clues, well, depends who you are. But yes, so that is then also a personal choice, a personal preference. But it's one thing to know the high standard and to not. That is always a difference. Did I somewhat enough answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So, the next thing on the agenda today is sideline. A lot of times, we women, let's go to the car. Bright colors. Wear something red, something bright. I have a red jacket, seriously. Bright red. And if I want to come to negotiate a deal, I'll be right there. I also like to wear a lot of, that's also if I like to do presentations, wear something bright. Because happy colors, bright colors, gives you confidence, it already gives you so much more presence. Because, oh God, she's wearing pink, she's wearing red. Go ahead. And then, for example, I would wear something bigger. The bigger the audience, the bolder and bigger and brighter, so I don't go under somewhere in the back of the corner. Okay? So, but sideline. A lot of times women, we sideline. Let's say we're having a business meeting, and true story here. So I had a meeting last week with a very high person. She was very nice. I really liked her. And I was very impressed by what she did. I was so impressed.